Hello, and welcome to another battle report from Santa Barbara Wargaming. I'm Paul, and today I'm playing a 35-point game against Duke Skorne. We played a 2013 beta close quarter match. It involves two flags. You gain a single point if you dominate your own flag. You gain 2 points if you control your opponent's flag, and 3 points if you dominate your opponent's flag. He brought a 35-point Raseth list. He has Raseth, a Titan Gladiator on the left, Tiberian on the right, Drake, a Soul Ward, a eFeora, a full unit of Venators, Menoth, and then a full unit of Beast Handlers. For my 35-point list, I brought a 35-point eFeora list. eFeora, a Redeemer, 2 Reckoners, the Battle Engine, a full unit of Zealots with the Monolith Bearer, and a min unit of Choir. Duke began his first turn. He ran up his Venators. He loaded up the Agonizer and ran everything else. I began my first turn. I ran up the Battle Engine over on the right. I proceeded to allocate 1 to each Jack so they could run. I ran up all of the beasts and I was able to get no shooting on them from the Choir before I did this. I activated eFeora and got Escort up, giving them +2 movement on their advance, or on their run. I had them run up into their positions, and then I had the Zealots run up. It was a little clogged up in there, but I think I was able to deploy well, even though there was a piece of crater in front of my deployment zone. Duke began his turn by having the Venators attack the Battle Engine. He was able to get 3 Venators onto the Battle Engine, doing a decent amount of damage with their 3 dice to attack the construct. He then had the other Venators attack the Zealot, killing 1 and causing Doors of Judgment into another Venator, killing the Venator, and then killing another Zealot with a corrosive attack. He advanced everything else up, running Tiberian behind the Venator and advancing the Titan Gladiator and Raseth into the forest, running the rest of the support behind. With the Venators in front of me, I needed to take them out. I began by allocating 2 to the Redeemer and 1 to each Reckoner. I wanted to potentially pop my feet this turn. I had the Zealots advance to throw some firebombs at the Venators, and I popped Greater Destiny on them, preventing them from being damaged except for spells or feats. I had them throw some bombs, killing a few Venators, but they were out of range at range 5, only being able to advance, being funneled between the two Jacks. After that, I had the Battle Engine attack Tiberian, killing a few smaller models behind Tiberian, and then I had the Reckoner attack Tiberian as well from 12 inches away. I had the Redeemer boost to hit and boost damage against Menoth, and then the left Reckoner ran more to the right as it was out a little bit on the flank. The Choir gave all of the Warjacks battle, and eFeora, using her feat, captured 5 out of the 6 Zealots in her spray, causing them to be on fire, and popped her feet, gaining 5 focus. I ended up camping it simply because I didn't feel like it was necessary to allocate focus to the other Jacks, keeping eFeora very tanked up this turn. Duke began his turn by using the Feral to arc Breath of Corruption onto the Zealots, killing a few of them. Raseth with the Soul Ward's Eyeless Sight, then cast another Breath of Corruption at the Redeemer, shooting a little short on the distance for deviation. Then had Tiberian run in and hopefully tank using the bump animus that Tiberian has. The Venators had failed their command check, and so they were fleeing this turn, moved up his Drake and his Beast Handlers behind, and that was his turn. You can see Tiberian, he popped his Animus and charged but failed. So getting up there with his Animus in play. I began by I began by having to allocate focus because he had ran his Agonizer up the previous turn. I could only allocate focus to the left Reckoner, so I was happy that I had moved it in more to the central for the battle. I allocated 3 to the unpainted the purple Reckoner, and I began by having the battle engine cleanse the Animus off of Tiberian and shooting it with a boosted hit and damage roll. I was able to kill, I think, 3. I was able to get 3 on the additional attacks, killing 2 small bases and putting 7 out of the 8 damage onto the Agonizer. I then had the Redeemer advance up, take out a Beast Handler and a Venator with a good to hit roll. I then had the Reckoner with the focus assault Tiberian, did a decent amount of damage and was able to take him out after some decent range attacks previous rounds. I was able to take him out. I then had the other Reckoner with no focus allocated finish off the Agonizer, and that left me to activate eFeora and advance into base to base with the flag and scoring a domination point. Raseth was in a precarious place because he had lost Tiberian almost for free, with no retaliation available to him. There was very little he could do in the peace trade. He had the Titan. He had Raseth do Breath of Corruption through, I believe, a Venator that ran up, putting Breath of Corruption onto eFeora. He then cast Rush on the Titan Gladiator, and the Soul Ward put Isla's Sight onto the Titan Gladiator, allowing the Titan Gladiator to slam the Redeemer, which made contact with the Reckoner. The Titan Gladiator followed up and killed the Reckoner easily. He then proceeded to have the Drake advance, boost to hit, and boost damage on eFeora, doing a few points of damage. I think she had 8 points of damage, or 8 wounds left at the end of this turn. You can see eFeora now scores another point for dominating, giving her 2 out of the 5 necessary points. eFeora then proceeded to allocate 3 focus to the left Reckoner, and I believe he popped his feet this last turn, giving me a -2 strength and -2 arm. So I needed to make sure I wanted to get Ignite up onto the Reckoner, making it almost negating his feat. I allocated 3 to the left Reckoner and had eFeora cast Ignite onto the Reckoner. The Reckoner assaulted because it was not engaged with the Gladiator, and I may not have been able to assault, but I believe I missed the assault anyways. So if I was engaged, I could not assault a model that I was engaged with, so I played that wrong. Anyways, I proceeded to kill the Titan Gladiator, I was straight dice with 4 attacks, and I was able to take out the Titan Gladiator. I then had the other Gladiator advance, or the other Reckoner advance, and attacked the Drake after doing a shot from the battle engine. eFeora scored a third domination point, putting Raseth in a precarious place in which I would score another point on his turn and another score on my turn, losing him the game. He proceeded in acts of desperation to try to kill eFeora. She had no focus on her, so he was dice -5 on Breath of Corruption. He proceeded to arc onto her. He needed a hard 11 to kill her, but he wasn't able to get that. He got close enough to prevent me from dominating, but without very much left, the game is very much mine. I proceeded to have eFeora advance up, kill the Drake, score a 4th dominate point, and we called the game there. So overall, a pretty good game. eFeora with a lot of ranged options, and Raseth really couldn't get himself across the board. eFeora was able to tank the flag, scoring enough scenario points to call the game. Anyway, so that was the battle between eFeora and Raseth. Thank you.